Jacob, what are we driving today, buddy?
Today we're driving the 2024 Dodge Charger Daytona Stage 2. Electrified. So far, what I'm noticing is, with a lot of these electric cars that are out now and performance cars, they are very much like a class of their own. It's not like you're driving a normal vehicle, but electrified. This very much feels like a Charger inside.
Yeah.
Like, it is big. I'm looking over the hood here. This feels like I'm driving a Charger. It is massive. And it has that kind of presence going down the road. There was one, whenever I'm driving to work, there's one I see going the opposite direction, like every morning. And every time it drives by, I'm like, that thing looks cool.
I'm a big fan of this visual redesign. I'm really excited for the gasoline versions to drop just because I'm a big gas car fan.
Yeah, and I think it's a cool thing that they did is it does kind of look like, in a lot of ways, like an old Charger, if you just made it modern and more futuristic looking, which is cool because, it is still an enthusiast car. It's not like what, a certain company that I'm not going to name did with a certain pony car, added 2 extra doors and lifted it. You know what I'm talking about.
We're not going to mocky those people too much.
This actually looks kind of like a Charger. Well, like if you just asked a person that's never seen one and doesn't know what it is, say, what do you think that is? It's a Charger.
I will raise you this. This looks more like a 60s Charger than the previous Charger did either.
There was that kind of deviation from what a Charger originally looked like for a while. This does kind of have that look.
Well, we should mention too, this thing coming out in a 2-door and a 4-door version is also because it does kind of replace the Challenger Charger combo before. We used to sell a Challenger and a Charger. Now we're going to sell a 2-door or 4-door Charger.
So I know a lot of purists, obviously, V8's the best and that's what we want. And I get that. Like 100%, that was kind of the identity of the Challenger and the Charger. But I have to say, those corners we just went through and these ones we're going through now, I don't think I could do this with this much confidence in the previous Charger.
No. Yeah.
It feels relatively planted, all things considered, for how big of a heavy car it is.
Well, it's the hyper-intelligent all-wheel drive system and everything too, right? Like these things are a spaceship compared to an old Dodge Charger. And and we talked about before about the gas version being on its way. Using this thing as essentially a concept car or a preview of what's to come with the gasoline version, it's going to have this dash. It's going to have that steering wheel. It will be this vehicle at the end of the day.
When we're talking about how modern this is, the amount of tech you get in here is nuts.
It's a computer on wheels,
100%. Like, there is options in this car that you just couldn't get in the previous Charger full stop.
Ever, yeah.